What's up, everyone? This is House K-pop today, and we got Justhis today. Now, for those of you who've been on the channel for at least 2 months, you may remember that we had this series about 2 months ago. We had Khiphop Madness, and the winner of Khiphop Madness gets a week's worth of videos on my channel. It's like the week of that rapper. We're coming up on K-pop Madness, which is about a month away, and I still haven't given Justhis, who won that series, his week's worth of videos because, you know, my computer literally died. Yeah, let's just dive into this with numero ocho. We got his verse on the MOMM song No Rules. 낮은 수준인데 낮은 수준인지도 구호 못하는 관객들의 기준인지도 그게 넌 쪽편에 쓴 놈들 그게 결국 지진얼 그래 진실은 없어 혹은 진실은 유행이야 차라리 이렇게 말해 철학은 씨발 개지랄 아니면 덜 익었겠지. No, he features with Palo Alto on this, but overall this song just is really cool for Justhis because the song changes so much in this. It's like a 5-minute long song. Like, I know the music video only has like the first 30 seconds of the rapping, but overall it's just such a long and in-depth rapping song. And if you're wanting to actually dive into Justhis' rap, especially his collabs with Palo Alto. By the way, his collabs with Palo Alto are unreal. I love them. But specifically No Rules, I absolutely love his verses on here. I'm not going to get into too much detail. Just go listen to it yourself. It'll be self-explanatory why it's even on here in the first place. It's just so good. So let's move on to numero. I'm not going to list like Bryce used to be. Numero siete. Number 7, we have Justhis' raps in the song Trash. Why you took a bitch, we took hangs up, bitch to the mess, yeah. Oops, yeah, we did it again, Indigo gang, oops. Now, he did this song with, I think it's Swings, Young B, and it's either Noel or Kid Millie. I can't remember off the top of my head. It's one of those two. That song is amazing, and specifically why it's on this list, why it's number 7 for me. Justhis is raspy. He's aggressive. He sounds like you can hear the growling in his voice in a lot of the parts. You hear the back of his throat. He's rapping in a different way and it sounds amazing. I kind of wish he'd rap like that more because it sounds so cool. It sounds aggressive. I don't know how else to describe it. I know I made a video about Swings 2 months ago talking about how he shouldn't be on Show Me the Money and everything, but Swing's verse on Trash is unreal. I absolutely adore it. He has a really cool rhyme scheme. But let's move on to numero siete. No, I just did siete. Seis. Numero seis. For number 6, we have Swervy's song and Justhis' verse in Trapped in the Drum. Now for this song, it's a little bit of personal bias because I absolutely adore Swervy's album that came out last year. If you haven't checked it out, Undercover Angel, go give that a listen because literally all the songs on there are just bangers that Swervy did. She dropped amazing work. I don't know how she's gonna be able to outdo herself the next time she makes an album, but probably my top 3 album of 2020. And Justhis' verse, he goes over a very absence beat. That song has a very slow, drum heavy, not too much melody beat. And it's really hard to rap to that. Swervy does really well because she's a very mumbly type of rapper. That's kind of her style. She's a mumble fast rapper, which is cool. But Justhis, he enunciates a lot. So rapping fast and enunciating on that type of beat can be kind of tricky, and he just makes it sound so good. I mean, he makes everything sound good, but yeah. And moving on to numero cinco, we have Justhis' verse in him and Palo Alto's song Wayne that features G2. Now, I'll be honest, G2's verse in this is my absolute favorite, but this entire song is just a banger. If you've never heard this song, go check it out. It's such a speed demon of a song. It's intense, it's fast, it's hype. I love it. There's not really any other way to explain it. It's just so intense. It's perfect for how Justhis raps. It's some of his best flow he's done. Moving on to numero cuatro. I have to double check myself on the Spanish here. But number 4, we have the song IMJMWDP. I'll be honest, Justhis' verse isn't my favorite on here. My favorite is Jackie's verse. Jackie Y goes the fuck off. I'm not here to talk about Jackie Y's aggressive rap that I wish Jackie, if you're watching this, you should totally do more aggressive rap because he sounds amazing when you go off like that. Anyway, Justhis' verse in here is out of this world in rhyme scheme wise. I don't talk about rhyme scheme too much because I'm too busy talking about fast rap, which doesn't even matter. It's just fun to me. But Justhis' rhyme scheme, it's one of his best rhyme schemes, I feel like. I mean, I know like Diablo's up there. It's so crazy how much it's changing and how many different things he's doing rhyming together at once. I'm absolutely adored. I love listening to that. Just for him, but then also Jackie, and then listening to Youngboy talk about teriyaki. Those three things. Youngboy, teriyaki, Jackie being aggressive, and Justhis doing rhyme schemey things. Moving on to numero tres. We got the newest song on this list is his song with Kundi Panda from Show Me the Money 9 of The Roots. 닥치면 중간고기 넣었거지 나 최고 한번 찍고 다시 처음처럼 난 충분히 많이 처먹었는데도 아직 배고파 왕관 못 넘겨 명반 내내 선했던 정규 랩부터 잘하래서. If you couldn't tell why I wanted Kundi to win, it's because he literally is like so similar to how he raps with Justhis. Like, of course Kundi's his own person, but I feel like him and Justhis go together so well. And that song specifically, I know it's specifically about Justhis verses, but that song Kundi goes off too. And Justhis, because they're so similar, and the Kundi made the song like. Kundi knew he would go off in that song, which means Justhis is going to go off in that song too, since they're so similar together. I can't talk about that song and how amazing it is without talking about that ending where Justhis and Kundi are just going back and forth, and like they're rapping back and forth at each other, and then they just rap at the same time. That sounds so good. It's so clean. It's so crisp. I absolutely adore that part too. So, numero dos, our second to last song on this list, we have, of course, Justhis Gone. 그러니까 사라진다는 건 정상이니까지 아스피링 배로대 난진 앞에서 래퍼슨 한국 인정의 랩으로 내가 애미는 근데 애도 랩 왼쪽 아래 자막 빼면 개수인데 금연도 개수인데 나보다 번데 배로 내가 여기서 뭘 weather에 I'm gone. Now, I couldn't make this list without that. Just this overall song in general has so much emotion in his voice that you can hear. You can literally hear the emotion in his voice and how much he's like giving it his all and everything and putting his passion into it. And it sounds so him. It just gives a different feel than a lot of his other verses. Like I can appreciate him just going off and rapping his heart out with a super amazing flow and rhyme scheme and everything. But there's nothing that could compare to a rapper just having passion in their voice. It's something rapping about something that means a lot to them. And then I can't even talk about the song without talking about that little breakdown bridge section where the beat drops and he just goes off about he has better flow than 99% of rappers. And I'm just like, yeah, you do. And you're finally getting the recognition you deserve. But yes, that's number two. So let's get into some honorable mentions before we get on to number one. So here are my 4 honorable mentions I'm going to put on. I put my life back on track and there's 정가 다니는 guilty when I kill your favorite rappers so feature back to back. Aim the head back by backing 통장에 꽂히지 back to back to back to back to back. Yeah, I'm beating to the table 쿨들이 재물로 바치고 벌어짐을 진호처럼 미쳤어. 그래 나도 진흙 속에서 피고 모든 것을 얻었고 모든 걸 잃었어. 근데 확실히 뭐 가지고 실력은 요즘 Justhis 쇼미 나가며 우승이라며 그래 Justhis가 누군지 누가 알아 몰랐다며 길을 막고 눈을 가렸던 따봉북 램에서 나와 찾아 yourself 서로를 이해 못해 근데 이해를 구걸하는 너를 이해해 어떻게 현실은 성과 악보다 복잡해 욕하고 난 다음밤에 천장에 오늘 And then finally for numero uno we got his verse in Geary Boy's song Beggar. Now honestly, at the end of the day, the base reason why this is number one is just how creative this verse is. If you've never heard this verse, please go check it out. Go check out the whole song too. It's such a great song because just everyone that's in that song just goes off and sounds so good. And Justhis' verse, he literally like recorded each syllable or each word separately and then pieced it together. And now when you're doing that because you can't rap, that just sounds bad. It just shows that you can't rap. We all know Justhis can rap. And the cool thing is he does this and he puts his words together and it just makes such a cool effect. And the even better part is he can do it live. I mean, it doesn't sound exactly like the studio because you can never recreate that with a natural voice, but it's pretty similar. He goes for the different tones of each word and it's so fast too. It's not like a super slow like da-da, 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 da-da. But like you can hear the difference in the recordings. And he pushes them all together in different syllables, and it's so crisp. I'm never going to get over it. I love that verse. I absolutely adore that verse. And normally I'm not a person that enjoys that type of verse, but it's so different. And I just applaud him for that. That was a great verse. I absolutely loved it. But that's going to do it. Those are my top 8 Justhis verses. Of course, there's a bunch more that I love. Everything on here I absolutely adore. And there's probably another 20 that could have made this list. But those are the ones I want to talk about. So if you're trying to get into Justhis, I highly recommend you go check those out. But let me know what you think of Justhis. Hopefully this helps you get into him. If you're already a huge fan of Justhis, hopefully I didn't hurt your head too much while watching this and you're like, I could describe this better than you or something. I don't know. Anyways, more Justhis content coming this week so I can finally do Justhis' week before we get into K-pop madness and have a new winner for the rest of 2021. So yeah, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, share some love way down in the comments below. And as always, Justhis and chill the safe way, because that's totally what we're doing.
보답을 오늘 모두 꺼주시오. 한국말로 하자니요 색하네요. 스타일도 바꿨지 이제 내랑 비교 마시오. 나한테 내서 이런 거 처음 해보지요. 영어 빼고 말해 내 피부 노란색 그래 앞에 번호 8이잖아 빨리 전화해. 네가 아는 여자애들 싹 다 불러 오늘 밤은 불지를 거니까 폰을 꺼두기로 해.